The various maps of Counter-Strike 2 have ample details within them, creating an interconnected world that may not be obvious at first. Some of these details also point towards more specific locations, which could mean these maps are physically closer to you than you would think. As a preface, at the time of this video, all maps by default are SAS versus the Phoenix Connection, with other factions only being selectable through agents. As such, we will narratively assume that each conflict is between these two. Vertigo is set on the 50th and 51st floors of a skyscraper being constructed by the company Shrat in a North American city. The lowest levels of the playable area are on the 50th floor, while the upper sections are on the 51st. Throughout the map, you can see drywall sheets from Expertide. Insulation is being added into several of the walls across the construction site. This insulation is from the company Ursus. Overpass is set in Berlin, Germany. The Berlin TV tower is in the skybox of the map. Along one of the highway overpasses, you can see a sign for the A113 Autobahn, which is a real highway in Berlin that heads into the southeast of the city. There's even a recycling sign on one of the dumpsters talking about the Berlin recycling program. The T's come from a truck in an underpass. This truck has the corporate branding Florum. The CTs spawn in front of a TTK bank branch, which is where bomb site A is. A large semi-truck has crashed carrying munitions. It is part of a convoy with a police escort, suggesting the CTs were part of the convoy. In the TTK branch is a safe with dozens of €500 bills. Calendars are dotted around for the month of January. In a nearby service corridor, you can find Ursus insulation again, sat in a wall. Another reappearance from Vertigo is the Shrat Construction Company, which appears to have a German branch and have taken out a couple of ads on the map. The map is split between two different environs, the first being a park. The second is a canal. The park is called Parkanlage Schöneck. The park is located near the streets of Steinendorfstrasse and Niederdorfstrasse. Inside the park, there is a beer garden named Wursthalle that operates much of the seating space there. Wursthalle was started in 2021 and allows you to buy various spicy bratwursts. A children's birthday party was taking place at the time of the events of the map, relatively close to a playground. The canal appears to be undergoing repairs by this company. Bomb Site B is one of the pillars for the road that the semi-truck was traveling down. This pillar is part of the ongoing repairs. The map is also covered in graffiti, with dozens and dozens of spray paint canisters everywhere. Now, where in Berlin is this map set? Underneath the Wursthalle restaurant is a U-Bahn station. Thanks to one of the maps, we can see that Overpass is located at Alexanderplatz. Confirmed by timetables showing trains coming from the U2, U5, and U8 lines. Alexanderplatz is a real plaza located in central Berlin, and right near the base of the TV tower, aligning with the view and distance to it seen in the map's skybox. Office is set in the Central South Office Park in the United States. At least part of the floor you play on, including T-Spawn and the hostage spawn rooms, is owned by the Shepherd Mortgage Company. You can see their name on the directory dotted around the map, as well as in the slideshow in the meeting room near T-Spawn. The CTs start in the parking garage of the office. Although difficult to hear during normal gameplay, there is a working radio with a broadcast at T-Spawn. Here's what it is saying.
Has denied any involvement in the incident. We have just received word of an ongoing hostage situation taking place in an office in the downtown area. A group of armed men took control of the office at gunpoint earlier today. Most of the employees escaped relatively unharmed during the initial chaos of the takeover, but 4 people are unaccounted for and have been verified to be hostages. The reason behind this terrorist action remains a mystery. With no end to the conflict in sight, authorization has been given to enter the office and attempt a daring hostage rescue. In other news, the president has stated today that
Inferno is located in a fairly large town in Italy. We even have a bit of history for this town. As seen in upstairs, there is a photo of the town from 1915, which is the CSGO version of the map. The T's begin in a plaza having stepped out of their Chicken Lover branded vans. These trucks were driven erratically through the plaza and were crashed into a shopping area. The CTs conversely have scaled up towards the church from their APCs. Bomb Site A is located at the Casa Auti winery. Casa Auti roughly translates to authentic house. Casa Auti appears to be a hometown favorite, as their alcohols can be found around the map, including at 2 Il Monaco Briaco stores, one of which is around the corner from their winery. Down the other way from the winery is a vineyard. At the bomb site, you will find a large box filled with missiles. Casa Auti also have a little cellar on Banana too. In Underpass, there appears to be a home behind one of the storm drain bars. Several buildings in the town are outright abandoned. One of these is right near Underpass. The other one is on the way to apartments, and is named Ficario. Ficario is Latin and is related to figs. Several of the different routes on Inferno actually have street names that you can see on little stone plaques attached to various buildings. These are Via Lundinello, which passes T-Spawn, Via Fluxeto, which is these stairs heading towards T-Spawn, connecting Via Lundinello to apartments is Via Simonelli, Via Brisco del Vigneto cuts through mid near bomb site A and connects to Via Vigna Rossini, which is the small roadway leading to apartments. Via Magnorelli appears to connect CT Spawn to Banana. The plaza outside the playable area of T-Spawn also has a road with a name, Via Jacobello. The name for the building that has apartments is Casa Dolce Vigna. Apartments also has some construction or restoration work being undertaken. Some suitcases are also present in the balcony room, suggesting that someone might be staying there on vacation. As its name suggests, Italy is also set in Italy. Various signs throughout the map have a pair of logos. These logos appear to be the same ones seen on the signs in canals in CSGO. This suggests that Italy is in the same region as the city of Venice, the Veneto region. A government tourist agency can be found in the market. While different types of alcohol can be found on the map, one kind of wine you can find is from a company called Sigillo. Their bottles can be found both in CT and T-spawn. The company has properties on the map, owning a wine cellar, and owning a smaller cellar at the bottom of stairs. The CT is deployed via a large police van. Embedded in the ground are tiles that spell out ostaggio. This means hostage in Italian, and represents the rough area where the hostage rescue is, but given the intricate design and coat of arms, could be the name of the village. The T spawn in a closed and run-down bar. At the time of the events of the map, someone is renovating their apartment. Dotted across the map are numerous businesses of all kinds. Dust 2 takes place in Morocco. We know this thanks to a couple of signs that refer to Morocco in French, Maroc. We even know what city too, as written on several dumpsters is Casablanca in Arabic. Bomb Site A is located at Hotel Aurore. The main hotel is outside the playable space, but their property appears to extend to the bomb site itself. The road nearby is named Avenue Aurore. If you follow it all the way down, it eventually connects to the roads at T-spawn. The street that goes past A site through CT spawn is Rue Principale. Through B site, it is known as Rue de la Casbah. Bomb Site B is in the Palais de la Casbah, an archaeological site for the Moroccan government. A Casbah is a type of fortress. In these Casbah-themed areas you can find various crates, some with the French flag, suggesting they were imported from Europe. Mirage also appears to be located in Northwest Africa. This is also due to the large amount of French on the signs dotted throughout the map. The main roadway extending through the B side of the map is named Rue Ibn Khafaja. Ibn Khafaja was a real poet from Al-Andalus, what is now Spain. This all suggests that Mirage could also be located somewhere in Morocco. The CTs start by some APCs at the entrance near a parking lot. For what appears to be a Casbah at Bomb Site A. Both bomb sites, though, are surrounded by loads of munitions, including dozens of artillery rounds. There's also a supermarket on the map right near B site. Although there aren't many products in it, there are boxes for fruit, and posters in French for drinks. Anubis is set in Egypt, and part of a large complex known as the Temples of Anubis. It is a royal palace. CT spawn, and the map more generally, are set on the shores of a large river, likely the Nile by its size. An inflatable boat appears to be how the CTs got to the map. There is also an old lighthouse at CT spawn. T-spawn, which is at the end of a bridge, also has the river in plain view. This truck being how the T's got to the map. The Temples of Anubis is a public space and features a couple of signs describing what each area is. Most of these signs are in CT spawn. The largest one there features a map of the area and goes into lengthy description about how many Egyptian temples were destroyed and some of their remains reused in creating other buildings. It also talks about the role of temples in ancient Egypt and who Ra is in the pantheon of gods. A site is a bathhouse built after the fall of the Ptolemaic dynasty in 30 BC, during the time the country was the Roman province of Aegyptus. The bathhouse was designed after the Roman public bathhouse model. Bomb Site B is the obelisk of Ra. Although it's unknown when it was built, this room in the obelisk was built to align with the solstice. The top of the obelisk originally had gold, to help shine the sun's light on the non-standing shrine of Ra. The Temples of Anubis is in the middle of the town, which is still active. It includes a still working canal. Part of the complex even has a hotel named Hotel Farah. Ancient is set in an ancient Mayan ruin in the middle of a jungle. According to a map positioned just outside the playable bounds, Ancient is divided into 3 archaeological sites. Plaza A and Plaza B represent the 2 bomb sites, and sit at the base of the pyramids along the edges of the map. Plaza B features a large but intricately carved stone pillar that seems to be the bomb target. Plaza C is outside of the playable space, also sitting at the base of a pyramid. This one being the pyramid behind T-spawn. The big inaccessible wooden doors throughout the map also do connect to various areas, including one that leads to the T-spawn pyramid. Dotted throughout the play space are crates from France, the same ones from Dust 2. A palm-sized version of that map from before is seen at Bomb Site B, and in the yellow thatch hut of Chutes. Given this and the overall styling of the map, we can presume both Chutes and Ancient are part of the same complex. This thatch hut also features a magazine called Guns and Archaeology. On top of having a couple of jokes on its cover, it also mentions the P503 vintage shovel, presumably the one on the cover, which can also be found on both Chutes and Ancient. Chutes also features crates of oil from 2024 that went bad and shouldn't be used. Nuke is set in and around the Cedar Creek nuclear power plant in the United States. Cedar Creek has won numerous awards, with some of them coming from the Oak Ridge Institute for Science and Education, or the Oak Ridge Associated Universities. Presented by the Department of Energy Commissions. One of the rooms outside the map near admin features a discussion about updating safety measures at Cedar Creek. Similarly, you can see the control room for the plant out of the playable area, near Trophy. Another set of whiteboards in observation discusses the use of fuel rods in the reactor up to 2015. There are binders featuring charts that discuss different power sources in comparison with each other. These binders can predominantly be found outside the map's playable bounds. Spent fuel containers can be seen sitting on concrete pedestals behind CT spawn. The CTs have deployed via SWAT van, while the Ts appear to have broken into the map by ramming into a gate on the parking lot side of the plant. Near the power plant, there is a river, likely the Cedar Creek. Bomb Site A is where the fuel rods are stored for the reactor. The reactor room itself is Bomb Site B. At B, if you look into the water below the glass floor, you can see the fuel and control rods embedded in the reactor itself. Along the edges of the reactor room are a series of controls and monitoring stations for the entire coolant system, the crane, and the core itself. Since the fuel at A site is stored in these large casks, it appears that they are moved by rail through this garage door to Big Box. In this room they can be removed by a crane above or take ramp. Ramp is hinged and can actually move up and down. The tracks allow these casks to then either move through the door at Headshot or continue down to B. Going down to B means they can go all the way down to the bomb site, thanks to another hinged ramp that can move up or down. Throughout the map are various crates and shipping containers. These crates have stickers saying they were made in Australia. Others are labeled that they were from the V Shipping Corporation. Train is located in a Russian-speaking country. The bulk of the map is set in the MGP Carriage Factory North, what appears to be either a train assembly facility or a train repair center from the Soviet era. T-Spawn is the NLC passenger rail service that directly connects to the factory. At the train station is a map of the stations they service. While a number of them are references to other maps, some do hint to in-universe locations. These in-universe locations include the MGP Carriage Factory South, the NLC Depot, and Lesograd 1. Lesograd 1's name is in the style of old Soviet closed cities. Bomb Site A is located in an open-air train yard, with the site itself being a large engine. Bomb Site B is within an old and crumbling train shed. The site itself is an old flatbed carriage with a container of poisonous substances, which has started leaking. Signage near CT spawn and B site suggests that the crumbling interior train shed is or was owned by a company called Intercity Cargo Transportation. In the inaccessible backrooms at B halls, you can find various charts, documents, and mail referencing a company called V Corp. V Corp is described as a leading multinational conglomerate. They have seen significant growth driven by their acquisitions and market expansion. The company is composed of V Corp Banking Group and V Corp Consulting Group, and have acquired Techno Solutions, Health Plus Inc., and merged with Global Energy Corp. This presence on trains suggests that they may have acquired either MGP or, given their physical proximity to B, Intercity Cargo Transportation. These documents also refer to a product, service, or investment fund they call EBITDA. Baggage might be the most narratively important of the maps, with the most information in the game, allowing us to put everything together. Baggage appears to be located somewhere in western North America, likely the western United States, as there are numerous mountains in the skybox, and all the signage is in English. The map's specific setting is in the baggage handling section of what appears to be the arrivals terminal of an airport. Flight boards in the map highlight that this airport has connections to Anchorage, Atlanta, Boise, Chicago, Cleveland, Denver, Frankfurt, Honolulu, London, Los Angeles, New York City, and Ontario, California. Despite that specific list, the pieces of luggage seen throughout the map have stickers on them that reference dozens of other places. This luggage is moved to and from the planes via SkyMate logistics, as well as by the massive belt system that leads to baggage claim, the out-of-bounds area behind T-spawn. The baggage delivery system and the X-ray machine are made by Argus Detection. The out-of-bounds area near T-spawn shows that the T's came from the same chicken lovers' trucks again. It seems the T's might also have connection to the chicken company Gallo, which we can see prominently here. There are also crates of weapons and Casa Auti crates, with one of them containing some stonework from either Ancient or Chutes. Out on the tarmac is a plane for V Airlines. Another plane features the URL flyhigh.vc. The .vc is a possible hint to V Corp once again. The menu version of baggage reiterates and expands what we see from the standard baggage map. This menu version reiterates the flyhigh.vc and Gallo chicken boxes. Casa Auti crates return once more, but this time filled with pottery from Chutes. There are also other crates from Dust and Ancient, along with postcards for Italy. Altogether, it appears that V Corp is a large transportation business that owns, operates, and affiliates with shipping, airline, and rail services across the globe, and possibly facilitates the smuggling of the company Casa Auti, who move weaponry and ancient artifacts from dig sites in Mexico. The T's, from their front business of the chicken liver company and a flour company, are targeting the two at sites everywhere on Earth, either wanting to take out a competitor or to cover up their connections to the pair of companies. They are doing this by targeting their clients like Cedar Creek, or them directly like at Train and Inferno. Or in the case of Ancient and Chutes, targeting the source of their artifacts. They also seem to be hitting the hub of their shipping, the airport at Baggage. Two birds with one stone. Dust 2 is likely another source of artifacts and equipment being shipped worldwide, as several crates can be found in the baggage menu map, Chutes, and Ancient. The T's being so connected to a chicken company would also be one way to explain the presence of chickens on various maps.